Infotainment ukamva sasi kulira choncho umaziwa kuti nkhani za msanguluso zabwera. Tikuwuzeni kuti kunali chani nkhani za msanguluso komanso kukhalezo chani nkhani za msanguluso. And you're with me, Sam Banda Jr. In this edition, President Lazarus Chakwera spoils legendary musician Gides Agide Chalamanda. We also take time to speak to Professor Caroline Kausire, who tells us more about her new book that she's working on. That's the second book. She had the first book titled What Kind of a Girl, and she tells us more about that. We also look at the Easter Theatre Festival coming back after a 2-year break. It's back and it will take place that's on April 8 through to April 10 at Jacaranda Cultural Center. We've got more details on that. The organizers will share more details on that. All you can do is stay right there as I bring you more in Infotainment, a basket full of arts and entertainment. Now we begin Infotainment in this edition with news that the Easter Theatre Festival, spearheaded by Solomonic Peacocks, is back after a 2-year break. The first edition, which took place at Blantyre Cultural Center, formerly French Cultural Center, saw different artists performing, and they also had comedians from Zambia, renowned comedians Difficult and Biklon. They came during their first edition, but then after that it's been challenges for them to host the event, and due to COVID in 2019 they went on a break, and 2020 there was no Easter Theatre Festival, but in 2022 they are back, and they had a press conference. The organizers had a press conference at Jacaranda Cultural Center. That will be the venue of the festival, where they shared more details about their coming back this time around. So we hear from MacArthur Matukuta, who is the festival director, as well as Jacaranda Cultural Center director Luke Desha, who also they are part of the partners alongside Hanover City, as well as that's a British Council of Wales. And again, we also speak to National Theatre Association of Malawi president, that's Maxwell Chipinga, popularly known as Max DC. During the press conference, Chingani, that's Sasoka, and his colleague, that's Tame Mwawa, shared a comedy, and they will be part of the festival this year. So let's hear more from the organizers.
Dressing top up. Easter Theatre Festival.
Easter Theatre Festival, the last one was in 2019, and in between 2021 and 2020, we failed to have the Easter Theatre Festival because the issues of COVID-19. So looking at the trend of COVID-19, the way it's going, the waves are going, we have thought that in 2022 we can hold the Easter Theatre Festival. And the Easter Theatre Festival in this year of 2022, it will happen from 8 April to 10 April at the Jacaranda Cultural Center. And it is going to be a bomb. We are back. The People's Festival is back.
It's great because if you see, for the past 2 years, theatre has been like almost not there because of the pandemic, the COVID-19. Performances were almost banned, we can say, because we were told 100 people to attend a performance, and now if you see how much do you spend on a performance, it's too much, it's a lot. And you can't overcharge the people to recover your cost. So it was like theatre was in hibernation, but now with the coming back of this festival, it's a sure sign that, you know, life in the theatre industry or in the arts industry is coming back, which is great. That's what we want.
You know, it's a very important moment, as you just said, because we feel it already this morning, that theatre and a festival are coming back to Jacaranda Cultural Center, but more importantly to Blantyre City. If you look at the past 2 years, we've had very few festivals, especially in Blantyre. Blantyre Arts Festival did not take place, Easter Theatre Festival didn't take place. Music festivals took place at the lake in various areas of Malawi, but when it comes to city and theatre and performing arts, we really suffered from that. And by coming together today, we feel the kind of the joy of having all these activities coming back together on one long weekend.
Yeah, that's more about the Easter Theatre Festival coming up. That's on April 8 to 10, 2022 at the Jacaranda Cultural Center. Over 25 artists are expected to perform during this year's festival, which will cost the organizers close to 5 million. And then there will also be collaborations between artists from Germany as well as Malawi and artists from Wales as well as Malawi. So looking forward to that, and it's running under the theme doing theatre the unusual way, basically pushing artists to say that theatre is a business. Remember, you're watching Infotainment, a basket full of arts and entertainment, and my name is Sam Banda Jr. Now moving on to another item in this edition of Infotainment. President Lazarus Chakwera 2 weeks ago hosted legendary musician Gides Agide Chalamanda, and this was part of recognizing him as someone who has done quite a lot for the country in terms of uplifting the creative industry. The name Gides Chalamanda is not that new. He's a legend. He has done quite a lot, and recently he was trending on social media because of the song which he collaborated with Patience Namadingo, and this is a medley, and there is a song in there titled Line, where he speaks volumes of his daughter, that's Line, talking about the way she behaves, the way she makes herself responsible, and also makes sure that she takes care of the family. So Agide had an audience with President Lazarus Chakwera, where President Lazarus Chakwera also gave him a trophy. We'll give you a short video which State House produced, and basically it's themed, or it's titled Agide's Journey to State House. Let's take a look.
Nabaroka 15 January 1931. Mama alikuja wa president wakuna bachukua bunini na baba. Ndakawasanga wa baba. Mtukuka lamba 92 years. Siba mea. Sanga ndida la president ngenga ya president andi dana ndilo sanga ko post now so atika unani bamasu pamoja ni mwana wangalini
Mbayamika kwa basi chifukwa chobwera kwanu mwongana nena nimafuna kuti ndikupatseni happy birthday chabwino tipereke chimenechi ngati chithokozo kuti munthu wamkulu wodziwa kuimba komanso kuti wasamalira anzake mwalera ana ambiri akuimba masiku ano chifukwa cholimba mtima chifukwa cha inuyo chifukwa maonetsa kuti munthu ukhoza kukhala ni talenti mpaka na moyo wako wonse ambuye akudalitseni
ndasangala kwambiri imana za president zinachitike zimpano kuti kwanza birthday yanga nosanga ngati zitere mazonse chisomo cha Mungu ndime maombiri koma ndingothokoza kuti Mulungu akupatse moyo wautali napatali zoti mutithandize
chabwino
mwana sajira sima chipongwe sajira sima
chabwino
kuba chikondi ndimene matani kumatukula sima lasira pampa
mwana sajira sima chipongwe sajira sima kuba chikondi chimeji matukula
chimene chimakhala nditu kumatukula ziko
mawanzeru
anthu wauza amalawi kuti amalawi mwana sajira sima chipongwe sajira sima kuba chikondi ndimene chimamanga ziko.
Yeah, that's Gideon Chalamanda, a special moment meeting President Lazarus Chakwera at State House in Lilongwe. That's 2 weeks ago. And as we continue our program Infotainment, we bring you a story where we met Professor Caroline Kausile. Apart from being a lecturer, she is also an author and as well as an actress. She is in the country. She's based in the United States of America. We caught up with her just to tell us more about her story. That's her time in the United States of America. How has it been living there for over 17 years, as well as telling us more about the book which she is working on, her second book, which is a follow-up on her debut book titled What Kind of a Girl. So we caught up with Professor Caroline Kausile, and this is what she said.
Being in the United States has been a privilege for me because I think they've embraced the diversity that I bring to America, and I've had a lot of fortunate things that have to do with networking. Networking has led me to be the professor that I am, the actress that I am, and the author that I am. So I've used my time wisely, and I've made something of myself to represent Malawi. What inspired me was the fact that I had a lot of accomplishments and achievements that I wanted to share with the world. I wanted to ask the world if they too had a tough time growing up, because growing up was confusing for me. And then when I came to Malawi and I was exposed to the people, I started writing about it as well, my experience with them, and people said I should put it down in a book, and that's why I wrote What Kind of Girl. That's going to come out this year, latest April, and it's called Some Kind of Girl, and is the sequel to my first book, What Kind of Girl. I want to meet the president because I would like to gift him my book. I would like for him to see the narratives that are being written about Malawi, and I also would like to donate copies of my book through the First Ladies Foundation so that schools can have it, libraries can have it, and Malawians can read it. I'm going to say that they should dare to dream. They should dare to dream and to go after those things. Put yourselves out there because people need to know what you can offer. If you're going to network with people and find somebody that's going to help you to get to the dream that you want, you have to tell people what you want to do. So I think that's the most important thing, putting yourself out there. Step outside of your comfort zone. So I think one of the most important things is knowing what you really want to accomplish in the talent that you have. For me, I love acting, so I wanted to showcase my talents, but also to say that Malawian girls, Malawian women can actually be just as talented as other people in other places in the world. You know, so like I said, I bring diversity, I bring an authentic kind of lens as a Malawian. So in everything that I do as a professor, I bring that Malawian lens with me. And people would love to know about what it's like to be a Malawian. How am I looking at America as an outsider? Things like that. So I think putting myself out there is something that I've practiced for a while. It's not something that's easy, but once you know what your mission is, once you know what your purpose is, you start to do things with intention. And that intention is what drives you with all your other passions. And that's what really drives me.
That's Professor Caroline Kausile. Now moving on to another item, and this time around we're moving from issues to do with books. We go all the way to painting. For those of you who have followed the creative industry, the name Sharon Kadangwe is not new. She has been hosting events. Some of the events, it includes fashion. She's been doing different events. But this time around, having moved to South Africa where she's based, she's back now, not to stay, but she's into a project. She wants to introduce herself as a painter. So she's full-time into painting. She wants to show her skills into painting. And last weekend, she had an exhibition. The first exhibition was in Lilongwe, and then she came down to Blantyre at Kwaharaba Art Gallery. And this weekend, she will be in Zomba. So we caught up with her after the exhibition at Kwaharaba Art Gallery in Blantyre, just to share her story into the art of painting. Let's hear from Sharon Kadangwe, and as a painter, she's now known as Skize Creates.
Lilongwe was great. We had like a good turnout, and the reception was awesome. We were at George's food truck in Area 47, so people came for some people knew about the exhibition, and they came. Some came for the food, and they were like, "Oh, there's something happening." So a lot of interaction both Friday and Saturday. We had a sip and paint, and people like also painted their own stuff, so that was fun and exciting. So what I loved about Blantyre was the overwhelming reception because people came on time. They were in the long way. They were a bit late. I will not lie. So Blantyre, they came. People were so eager to like see what's happening, and just even the response, seeing people like go through the whole collection and relate to something. And specifically that social distance one, I knew that a lot of people would understand because that's even how I started painting because I was feeling isolated and I was feeling distant. But I was like, I need to do something to get out there. I will go as far as life takes me because I think I'm still on the journey of like embracing that artist. Like where I started from, like doing poetry and doing events. I still do those things, but now it's like coming out in a different way because this is like now my own art. So I feel like those other things they were for people. Like poetry was also for me, but now being an artist is something that's mine, but I'm sharing with the world. Yes, this is like the first of many. The people who helped me organize this, Terrence Ngulue and Kalisto Mnyanga, they are also well connected in the indie art industry in Malawi. So they're also, a lot of other artists have been like, okay, I also want to do this. I also want to do this. I was afraid, how will people take my artwork? Will people like it? But more people have approached them to like do more specific art events. So this is just the beginning.
Yeah, Skize creates there speaking to us, speaking to Infotainment at Kwaharaba Art Gallery in Blantyre, where she had an exhibition. So this weekend she'll be in Zomba. Now moving out of there, we go back to music. Last weekend, Skefa Chimoto and Real Sounds Band all the way from Lilongwe had a show at Club 24/7 in Blantyre. And during the show, Skefa Chimoto took time out to celebrate Flames for making it to last 16. Of course, we failed to make it all the way because now we're looking forward to the Africa Cup of Nations finals between Senegal and Egypt. But Malawi made its own history going all the way to the last 16. So Skefa Chimoto had time to do a song to celebrate the achievement of the Flames. And again, Joseph Kamwendo, that's one of the stars for the Flames, who used to star for the Flames, as well as former skipper of Mighty Wanderers, was also part of the show, and he took time out to also celebrate the Flames. Let's take a look and see what happened during the show.
Chichogoza the Flames, the made us proud, honestly. Can I do something for the Flames? Are you ready? Okay. If you don't say join the band, you're going to come to my Flames. You won't well. A very short song. Are you ready? Are you ready? Real song, give me something. Let me see your hand in the air. You ready? Flames, are you ready? Mademoiselle, everybody's careful. Mademoiselle, who's your prayer? Come on, Flames, oh, Shisangala wali batandani. This is not big, this is not big, this is not big. One more time. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, okay. Shisangala wali batandani. Manyasi wali jotandani. Tigoli wali chuki tandani. My friends are more. Yacha na bombo. Yacha. I don't know much to say, but I want to thank you for the wonderful time that you have given me, the space. But also I want to have this space to say thank you, Malawi Flames, for the wonderful performance that you have shown us. I'm here wearing the Malawi flag because of what the Flames have achieved. So yeah, it's good that I was here. Thank you, Malawi. Enjoy, thank you. Especially I want to thank my brother here for organizing my places here. Thank you. And you are
Yeah, that's Kefa Shimoto at Club 24/7 in Blantyre. On that note, we've come to the very end of Infotainment, a basket for arts and entertainment. I hope you've enjoyed what I brought unto you in this edition. Just to give you a reminder, in Lilongwe we have poets Dark Shadow as well as Marumbo Sichinga having an event in Lilongwe this weekend. And again, we also have the pre-white party at Comesa Hall in Blantyre, organized by Team Entertainers. There will be Black Missionaries as well as Soy Jerusalem Banda and Lulu. So make your way out there if you want to be part of that fun. And our colleagues Naizi, Odd Naizi Films, they have an audition. They would want to pick actors who can star in their various series that they'll be shooting shortly. And this audition will take place at Jacaranda Cultural Center in Blantyre this weekend. As I said, my name is Sam Banda Jr. I always say that keep it times as well as infotainment. But before I go, I'll leave you with a performance of Thomas Chenghumba Chibade, who performed at Mibawa Multipurpose Hall in Blantyre. That's last weekend. He actually told Infotainment that he has a new album coming out, so you should check out for that album. And at Mibawa this weekend we have Alleluia Band performing. I'm out of here. Sam Banda Jr. is my name. Ciao.
Albamu iri nkati ndithu tikujambula imene nimauza nimapangaso interview pa Mibawa television kuti mutu ndi waung'ono sungakwanise kuti lero kujambula albamu mawa kujambula albamu limafunika kufasira koma kangoti ndipanga anthu akamati hey mwafoka mapeta kuti akwapangira chinthu chosapsa koma kuchifasira bwinobwino moti apa ndili mu studio my case studio kulilongwe nditudi apa ndajambulako nyimbo 8 sasa ziwiri kuti timaliza albamu iwala mmene unathera chimbali chimenechi chitakhala mwina cha namba ngati 6 kapena 7